The Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries presents Friday Night Bible Study. Our Friday night Bible studies are held in the United Kingdom, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis, Missouri, and in the state of New Jersey. Welcome to Friday Night Bible Study.
Good evening, everyone. Peace and welcome wherever you may be. Tonight, I have an all-star lineup with me. My name is Elder Elvis, and let everybody introduce themselves from my all-star cast. Go ahead. We'll start off at top.
Peace. Good evening, everyone. I am Jesse, and we're going to be talking about Do You Hear the Message for this night.
Hello, everyone, and I am Sean, and I'm happy to be joining everyone live tonight to talk about this hearing of the message. Do you hear the message?
Peace, everyone. My name is Junior. I will be talking about Do you hear the message? I've heard it. Do you hear it?
Absolutely. So, before we jump in, guys, you guys know about memos, text messages, voice messages. What other kind of messages are there? Like, you know, sometimes somebody calls your phone and you may get them say, "Hey, did you get my message?" And although it didn't show up, you said, "What message?" You guys ever had that situation when somebody
Yes.
said, "Hey, did you get the message?" You go, "What message?" Because they're coming to you like a frantic state and they want to know, "Hey, did you reply to it?" Like they're eager. And so what's up with that? I mean, they said they sent it, and then they come back quickly and say, "Did you get the message? Did you get the memo?" And obviously, you know what a memo is. It's just a short letter to say, "Hey, this is what's happening." And maybe there's a boss coming in to check out our stuff and whatnot. And you might say, I don't remember getting that message or that memo. So you guys ever had that situation?
Yes.
Yep.
And feel free to jump in, guys. We're going to have a live discussion tonight on tonight's Friday night Bible study. So jump in, be relaxed, even though we know it's October the 31st. I might get somebody ringing my doorbell because that time of the year, although I put a big giant sign that says I don't do that. So move away, shoot type of thing. So hopefully they don't knock or ring the doorbell.
We're all probably gonna get that.
Yeah.
Well, they don't normally stay out that late anymore. So
Obviously, Joe didn't get the message.
If they want that candy that badly, then they will.
They didn't get the message, even though it's right there in front of them.
The memo. They didn't see the memo.
Put a giant sign that says, "Please, no trick or treating. You can't miss it." I even have the lights on to highlight it. So hopefully they get that message. Okay.
So are there good messages and bad messages?
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? There's always good and bad messages. There's messages that you get and you might react to it, and there's messages that you get but you don't react to it, or you might kind of say, "All right, I'm gonna check it out later." You might put it off to later. But guess what, though? There's an old Jamaican saying that says, "You know what that is, Sean? Because you're strictly from Jamaica. I can say it. Junior, you're from the UK originally, and Jesse, you're here in Canada, so you might not get it." There's a saying that says, "Who not hear, go and feel."
Yes.
Everybody knows that.
That message means who doesn't hear is going to feel. Or as Elder Harriet would say, you're going to learn. You guys know that one because she says it often. And so therefore, if you don't hear and understand the message, if you don't apply the message, then you're definitely going to learn, good or bad, actually. So tonight is about do you hear the message? So let's kind of jump in because we have a lot of stuff to cover, and hopefully we can cover everything. We'll jump straight away to Deuteronomy 28.
Okay.
All right, so let's flip there. Flip to your Bible. We know this is a famous book and a famous chapter in our history. So Deuteronomy, and we're not going to read the entirety of the 68, because otherwise we'll be here from, as they would say, from here to Timbuktu, which you know what I mean. But we'll cover some of the verses so we can highlight, do you hear the message? And hopefully everybody that's out there in cyberland and future whoever is going to see this later on down the road, maybe a week from now, maybe months from now, or maybe years from now, will reflect and look at the title, Do You Hear the Message? And at the end, if you haven't got it by the end, what the message is, we'll highlight it and summarize it for you. So let's start off with verse 1. And let me say, it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Right away. And it shall come to pass, saying that if, as time goes on, if you do these commandments, if you follow these things, this is what's going to happen to you. Okay. So far, we haven't highlighted who's talking and who is going to. We will get there. Don't worry. Don't rush. We got a whole night to cover all of that stuff about who this message is for and the type of people in this book. Let me move on to verse 2. And all these blessings. Oh, I like that. All these blessings. Blessings are good things. You know that. All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Let's look at just those two verses for a second. There's a word that says hearken. What does that mean in English term? Because we're looking at the old English style King James Version, by the way. If you're looking at the Bible, that's the only one that you're going to relate to us. So if you have a King James Version, you'll see the same word, hearken. What does hearken mean?
Listen.
Sounds to me like listen.
It's just like what we just said earlier. And if you know here, you go and learn. If you can't, listen. So it's saying if you listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, and the God that we're talking about in this Bible, the King James Version, is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And if you know that God's name, then you'll know that the people that he's referring to are the Israelites. So let's make those relationships right off the bat, that it is the God of Israel talking to his people, his children, his servants, the Israelites, to say, listen, I'm going to deliver a message to my friend Moses, and listen to it, because if you do, there's going to be some serious blessings. What say you guys on those two scriptures so far? Give me a little bit of tidbits on what you're thinking.
Okay, so let me go in there. So yes, it's the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, speaking absolutely to his children, the children of Israel, the Israelites. And they're being set up here to understand about listening and understanding, because messages are about to come down, and these messages will be fruit for the soul, or it could cause harm if you're not listening. So it's talking about the rewards, and the rewards in verse 2 here, it says, and all these blessings shall come unto thee. So the blessings are the rewards of listening and accepting and responding to the messages that will come. And what are these messages that verse 1 is talking about here are the commandments so far. So it's setting a stage for what we're going to hear. Are you going to listen? And are you going to obey? And will you be blessed by these three things?
True. Because, some people hear and some people don't hear, and some people hear, but they completely ignore it, even though they understand. Can you get that? Can you imagine if you hear the message and you understand? Like, hearing and understanding are two different things, by the way. So just let's get that clear. Because sometimes it's like, if I had to take up a technical manual of rocket science and read it, I'll read it, but I would have no clue because I don't understand it. So again, you can hear it and not understand it. You can hear it and understand, and you can also hear it, understand it, but don't do. Okay?
Can I just add to that?
Go ahead.
With messages, much as we say we hear the message, but in front of us is actually written. So much as we hear it, we read it as well. So reading messages is like, if you didn't hear it at the same time, we got the opportunity to actually read it and go over it and over it and over it. And if you still don't get it, then...
Absolutely. What do you say, Jesse?
And to listen is to do the commandments in order to get those blessings and those rewards too. That's what I think too.
I hear. So again, the Bible from Genesis to Revelation is full of messages, by the way. Just to let you know, it's full of messages, and it's not just full of messages, but it's specifically saying to a certain people, here's the message. It's not to everybody, the message, by the way, just to let's get that cleared up. It's not for everybody. It's written for a certain specific type of people. This message that's in this Bible, and everybody claimed, yeah, this is my book. This is our book, and we're going to use it and try and even teach you, even though they have no relationship to what's in the book. So who's this message directed to? Obviously, we mentioned it already. The children of Israel. Those that serve him in spirit and in truth and do his commandments. Remember, you got to put some work in. Now, when God was speaking to Moses, he's always saying that the script, it always opens us as, and the Lord spake unto Moses saying. So there's a message. And if he's speaking also to the prophets, he would say, thus saith the Lord. You know, he always opens up with these things. Or, and the word came unto such and such a prophet to deliver the message. So again, throughout the entire scripture, there's always these things. Thus saith the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses saying, speak unto the children of Israel. Right. And tell them, like, it's always full of that. So I don't know how come so many people miss the beginning of many, many chapters throughout the book from Genesis to Revelation talking about speak unto the children, or it should say, and it shall come to pass. It's always that message, and you just got to listen and understand and do. Now, let's continue in Deuteronomy. We're going to skip all of that. So we know that there's blessings, and there's a whole bunch of them.
But before you move on, Uncle Elvis, when you talk about the blessings, notice something here in verse 2 with the blessings. It says, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
Wow.
So what does that mean? He's giving you blessings and double blessings and triple blessings.
More than double.
More than enough. If you do
You're wallowing in it. You're wallowing in it.
Yes. If you do one simple thing, listen.
Yes. So imagine the blessings overtake. It's like you ever get a car overtake you? So you're driving on the highway and you're cruising at your speed, and all of a sudden the car just went boom and over, and you're just looking and it's just flying, and you think, am I going to catch that? Which means like you go, no, because they're going too fast. It overtook you. So yes, the blessings will overtake you. Not just by a little bit, to the point that you can't even see it anymore. That's how it's going to overtake you. So remember these two things that we just mentioned. Hearken, listen, blessings are going to overtake you. And if you read all the way down to about 14, it lists a whole stack of blessings that your mind will buzz if you try and fathom all these blessings. Now, let's pick it up from 15. What does 15 say? Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Oh boy.
That's a bad message now.
Help me out, you guys. Help me out. What do you think? Help me out here.
It's a warning on what will happen to you if you don't listen and if you don't hear the message.
Jeez. You know, if you read from there on in, it's like your heart just fell out of your body and dropped into an endless pit of water. Like it just, because if you read the rest of that and you see the curses that are set for you, oh my goodness, you would say, why would you choose that? Like seriously. But again,
if you look at it again, Elvis, verse 15. Verse 15, the total opposite of verse 2.
Right.
Because verse 2 says that you will have these blessings will come upon you and overtake you. And then verse 15 says, basically, if you don't hearken, these curses will come upon you and overtake you. If you do the right thing, the blessings will overtake you, and if you do the wrong thing, the curses will overtake you. So equally on either side. So choose which side you want to be on. You want to be on the side where the blessings are in abundance, or the side where the curses are equally in abundance.
So, would you believe it or not, we chose
The side of the curse.
would you believe it or not, we actually decided to choose the side of the curse. and hence we are here in 2025 wondering, if I were back in those days with this knowledge, you would have to thump somebody in their faces. Why are you doing that to us? Because they even says, let the blood be upon our children. So like, right, jeez, why would they have to say that? Know how hurtful that is? Oh, man.
It's like saying let the curses go onto our future generations rather than us deal with it or get what we deserve.
Like, shouldn't the buck stop here and don't pass it on to your children? You know what I mean? Jeez. Let's continue. So we're going to jump because, again, if you continue to read onward from 15 on, there's a whole ton of curses. And it just makes your heart just lose all energy and hope because you're downtrodden just by reading that alone. Jeez, man. So let's go up to 45 and what is it? Because we want to highlight what happens when you don't listen. Okay? Back home, parents says if you're not listening, and then if you don't listen, you get licks. Just that simple, man. And that's the only way they punish. And by the way the God of Israel punishes his children is through slavery, actually. So we're always 1 minute we obey, and the next, before whatever the day is over, I think we go right back to sinning and making them angry. And it's like, geez, man, it's like, what is up with us people? Can't we just listen and obey and do? Because look at all these blessings. Oh, anyways, let's move on to 45. What does 45? Hit it up for me, Sean. Hit that up for me. 45 to 47. Read that for me, please. Sean?
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
All right, hold it. So that word last week and in the Saturday afternoon lesson, that word came up. Moreover, and I think it was Elder Fred that says, let's shift that word instead of moreover. Say, as a matter of fact. Okay, I remember. So as a matter of fact, so if we put that, moreover is a very important word, by the way, because our elder has always stressed when you see that word, moreover, it means it's a heavy word that you can't take lightly. So he says, moreover, all these curses, oh my goodness, shall come and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be In other words, no matter where you run on this planet of the earth, it's going to find you and destroy you. That's because you're not listening. Continue, please. And by the way, you guys, and by the way, Junior and Jesse, jump in whenever you're ready or you got something you want to highlight to everybody that's out there in Cyberland or live on the chat.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Oh boy. So let me ask.
This
let me
is
ask you
harsh.
guys. Wait. So I don't think a lot of people understand when it says forever. Okay.
What does that mean?
We read it all the time though, and we say, yeah, forever, yeah, whatever. But do you understand that there's no zeros that you can ever phantom that goes behind and find to the end forever? Like it's forever is forever. If you conceptualize that and trying to think of what forever means. It's
infinity. It has no end. So in a sense, what this is telling us that if we refuse to keep the commandments and his statutes that he has given unto thee, and even this continual disobedience will travel down through generation after generation. That is what the forever means. So as long as you have children, and those children have children, and they keep going and going, that is how far this curse will last. But when we go back, and if we stop for a moment and then begin to acknowledge the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, we directly will begin to shift this so-called curse that is upon us, because he wants obedience so that he can give us the blessings and we can get these rewards. But if we keep disobeying, then the curse keeps continuing. So what is our choice? Are we going to let the curse continue, or are we going to do something about it to stop the curse in its tracks?
It's also why we had that 400-year curse a while ago too, because what of our people did long time ago. Because the curse means like forever, as in beyond the lifetimes that you will live, like beyond your children's children lifetimes, they will live too.
One point is just to say, we used to talk about lifetime and for generations, but I think in general we don't know how to even number our days, and just the point, we don't know how to number our days. So forever don't seem it's insignificant to us, because we don't look at the future to say in 4 generations what my seed is going to be doing, and is it going to be serving the same God? We just look at now, I've got to pay the bills, and I've got to provide for me, I've got to do for me, and that's it, and do the best for yourself, and then not thinking of the future.
That's right. Because even that 400 years, that was 10 generations.
Wow.
So that's still a mighty long time for a curse to keep going on.
And we forgot so many things. Just we don't even need 10 generations to forget. It seems like the minute you get enslaved, sometimes you're in captivity for 20 or 10 years and you already forgot. Like the memory bank is like a RAM. You just got wiped clean and you forgot the laws, statutes, and commandments. You go serving another God. You go doing all kinds of things, trying to be like the heathens. Like, geez, my goodness. And we end up back in the same pot again of being punished because why? You forgot to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and the ordinance. And you go make your God jealous because he said he's a jealous God. And
that's right.
Every one of us here, whether now, all 4 of us, or out there or wherever, we all have jealousy in us at some point for something or another. So don't say, "Oh, I never get jealous." Yeah, let me take your favorite thing away and you'll see, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, finish that for me. Finish the next verse, Sean.
Okay. And there's a note here on the screen where the person says, "Amen, Elder Elvis. There is no escape from the curse when we are disobedient."
Oh boy.
Okay. So let me just reread verse 46 again.
You're on mute there. I think you hit the mute button.
"And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." I'm starting over back at 46 to catch right back into 47. "Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things."
There you go. See? You stush up your face and you screw up your face and whatever.
You're not grateful for the things that he gave you, like all the blessings on blessings that he gave you. Like you're not grateful for it. You're not satisfied with it. And you're not asking for more as well. And you're not doing what it takes to get those as well. To get those blessings.
So true. So true. Oh boy. So you could see what's happening right now. Some blessings, some curses. What happens if you don't? The message so far is about about doing the commandments that he's given us. And we know it is the laws, statutes, to observe them, to keep his new moons, his Sabbath, his holy days, to love him with all your heart, soul, breath, and being, to serve him in spirit and truth, to love thy brethren as love, like all of these things. And that's part of our culture too, by the way. So it's not like it's very hard to do because we're living the commandments actually. It's not hard when you're actually doing it every day. It's like breathing air. You don't need to worry about it. You just breathe. Hello. So
that's right.
Yeah, we're going to finish it off. Not the entirety of 68, but we got 2 more verses I want to cover to send this message regarding our blessings and our curse and what happens when you follow instructions, when you don't follow instructions. Okay, so let's move up to 60, 61. Continue for me, Sean.
Okay, so verse 60 says, moreover, here's that word moreover again.
Yeah.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
Oh boy. Jeez. You
Also,
remember those diseases? Lice, boils,
yes,
um, all
yes,
those things
the
that make your skin
frogs.
itch. By reading it alone, you start to itch and scratch, and you go, "Geez, I wouldn't want to be in that guy's position."
That's how bad it is too.
Right? Lice and flies.
It would seem here like in reading this verse 60 that the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob was very disappointed with his children to the point where he would dig so deep to bring the scourge upon them, diseases, his own children. He
Yeah.
threatened them basically with all these things to see if they would come back, but they didn't. They still disobeyed. With all this before them, they still disobeyed. Why?
Oh man, that's a very good question. Why people disobey when you have? It's like you're given all the cream of the crop of things, and yet you want to throw it away. Like, geez.
Mhm.
Like, can you imagine that? Nowadays, us in 2025 are wishing we had just a smidget, like not even a slice of it, just a wiping of it. You know, when you have an ice block and you wipe it just to see if it's ice, we just want to wipe the dust, get a little wiping. We don't even have, geez, man. And they had like a whole thing. Goodness.
And the God of Israel is letting us know too that whatever things that transpired in Egypt at that time, like all the diseases, going after the gods one by one, those same things will happen to you if you do not follow. Those same sicknesses, pain, suffering will happen onto you as well. And we've gone through over lessons too on what that is.
And
But these diseases are indeed happening. There are diseases around today that causes great suffering unto death. That is still plaguing us.
Maybe read 61 and I'll tell you what's going on.
Yes. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So there you go. There's stuff that we don't have that have new names that are not even close to what's happening in Egypt that we're suffering from. And you know, it's always clinging to the Jacobites.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it is that, like, again, because we're not living in those times, we take it for granted, because even just the 60s, you look at the 60s, what our parents and some of them went through, and then we, even today, we got it good. So we intend to forget that message and forget. Also, we relax until we start going through the hard times again, or something might hit us on, like COVID just recently hit us. I bet everybody was praying, and oh yeah, remember that message, let's start reading and praying, and, you know, there's people. Sadly.
Man.
How long ago that was, and the effect that it had too. It affected everything, like food, taxes, water, people's lives, their jobs. People had to go to, like, now electronic, like kind of like we're doing right now, like Zoom meetings, like all that. And most of it wasn't nice either too. And that's only like a little smidget of what the God of Israel can do, of what those said sicknesses that aren't written in this book are.
That's right. Look at Felicia's point here where she says that look around and see the temptations of the world today, and you'll see why. Always offered a better reality by the father of lies.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's that old saying? All that glitter ain't gold.
Is not gold. That's right.
So here's my question.
Ignorance is bliss.
Here's my question.
Bliss is another one too.
Those that are out there, are you one of those deer in the headlight people? You know, deer in the headlight mean that you see it coming and you're just looking oblivious to, are you going to get out of the way or do something, or you're just going to stand and get hit by that vehicle? You're just caught with your eyes wide open, not reacting. Are you one of those people hearing this message so far? and not doing anything. What say ye? Now,
I'd
what
rather
about
I'd
those
rather not get the
people?
curses.
What about those people that hear and understand and choose to ignore the message? Let's find out. Let's go to Jeremiah 44. Come on. So the previous was you hear the message, some do and some don't understand. Hence why obviously they did it for a moment and lost track because those blessings and curses are there. But what about those that actually understand? Literally understand it. So we're in Jeremiah 44.
Who's that?
Jeremiah 44. And again, we're not going to read every single, we just want to bring a point to you about, do you hear the message? So Jesse, why don't you start off reading and I'll try and interject. We're trying up to at least 11th for the moment being.
All right, verse 11.
Verse 1.
Okay. The word came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol, and at Taphans, and Noph, and the country of Paphros, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein.
All right.
So,
wait, hold on. So he's saying, and the word came. So again, remember, there's a message that's going to go out. And he's using Jeremiah the prophet to deliver this message. And he said, what all the things, the evil that I brought upon you in Jerusalem. And as we read along, you're going to find out what's happening.
Pause here for a sec. So the word came to Jeremiah, meaning the God of Israel directly sent him a memo to send to us concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt. And him also saying, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, as in all the destruction and all the things that are you don't want to you don't want this to happen to you. Like you can see it with your very eyes. What will happen? Behold, this day they are a desolation, no man dwelleth therein.
Wow.
No one's going there. There's no habitation there. It's not habitable to go there either, because of what the God of Israel can do if you do not listen.
Exactly. Continue reading for me.
Verse 3, because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, in that they went to burn incense and serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, ye nor your fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, O do not this abominable thing that I hate. But ye hearken not, or you did not listen, nor inclined their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled against the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day.
All right, pause for a second. Hold that. So the number one thing that our God hates is when you break the first commandment.
Thou shalt not serve no other gods.
The most important one.
And what does it say in what they did? They burned incense
to other gods. Yeah.
Jeez. And he said he sent his prophets rising up early, his servants. And by the way, we have a modern day servant. By the way, the greatest man on this planet, the wisest man, our elder Shadrach, because without him, none of us right now would be able to even tell you about this message about serving the one and true and living God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And to have him here at headquarters, you guys have no idea the sweetness that we get. I mean, I don't want to give away all the secrets, but hey, I could kind of sweeten the pot a little. Saturday mornings are the best of the best. It's not like the Saturday afternoon. So if you ever want to hear some real and get your teeth into some meat, Saturday mornings are the best. You have to be there. I mean, I can only express it. I know Jesse's savored it, Sean has savored it, Junior's savored it, and they know exactly what I'm talking about Saturday morning and the message that we get from the messenger of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our elder Shadrach. Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on. Continue, please.
Verse 7. Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, meaning he's speaking, the Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, in that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whether ye be gone to dwelling, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth? Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and their own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers.
Awesome.
Just 1 second here. One second. Is it that because so many generations have gone by and being in captivity and stuff like that, they have wandered away from the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, that because they have wandered so far that they have forgotten? Because remember, our Father always says, remember to do this, remember to do that. Is it that because he says that he gave them the servants and the prophets to teach them, but they were listening, but they weren't hearing? Why were they so distracted? What was it about these messages that they could not focus and zone in back on the God of their forefathers? Why is it that it was so difficult for them? Because the prophets were there, the servants were there. And remember, with our Father, he's not looking for a crowd of people. He's looking for a small set of people who can actually move away from the noise and come and sit and hear what he has to say. So reading this, it is kind of disheartening to realize that even with the prophets right there, they still did all these wicked things. Or is it that they're thinking that it's God not doing it, that it's the opposite side that's doing these things to them?
Or the fact that they're so physical
God is
that they
supposed to be good, right?
Right. But they might be thinking, listen, they're looking at the other side and says, but they have somebody that they can touch, see, smell, taste, and how come we don't have a God that we can't touch and,
can't
see, and, maybe they're thinking like that.
All physical senses that are being interacted with. Nothing spiritual either.
Right.
Pansy,
if you look at
move on, Pansy put a message here. She says, when you hear the message, make a vow to serve the God of Israel. Then you forsake that vow. You definitely have some answering to do. This is not a joke thing, brethren.
Absolutely. Junior, you were going to say something, man.
I was going to say something. Given verse 7, it says, therefore now saith the Lord, God of hosts, God of Israel, wherefore commit a great evil against his souls, to cut off you man and woman, child and suckling. It's like it's not looking at age. It's like you're cutting off the whole generation. It's like the whole family get cut off and like damaged. It's like, like the babies. No, you've done that damage.
That's right. Junior, why don't you finish reading from 11 on to about 17?
Okay. Therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah, And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces go into the land of Egypt, sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die, for the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be excretion and astonishment, and they curse and reapproach.
All right, hold it there for a sec. So all that is, they're going to be cut off. They're going to be destroyed. Not just them, but their wives and their children. Again, the wickedness that they do, this thing which is serving another God, burning incense to another God, not hearing his message. All the prophets are coming to say, return unto your God. Come back to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and God. That's what the message was always telling them. Stop doing what you're doing because it's evil. It's an abomination to your God. But yet, they continue to do it. And here we're finding out what's going to happen to them. What's Felicia saying? There are physical people who refuse the truth and live in God to his face, saying they will continue to worship. Okay, yeah, we were going to get there, Felicia. We're going to worship the Queen of Heaven. So as you see, we're going to continue reading and hold that message there for a second on the screen, Elder Brian, actually. Junior, continue reading from 13 on.
But I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of them remain of Judah, which have gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return but such as shall escape.
15. Let's
Okay. Then all men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the men that stood by a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Paphos, answered Jeremiah, saying,
all right, hold for a second. So all the men, you're laughing, Sean. So remember what I said. This is people that heard the message, understood the message, but yet they ignore the message. And it's from verse 1, God says, Jeremiah, listen, go talk to my people and tell them they need to stop what they're doing because it's an abomination and I'm angry, I'm ticked off. And if they continue doing what they're doing, I'm going to destroy them. Simply put. Now, go ahead, Sean. You want to say something?
Yes, there is a word here. I had to actually look up the word. In verse 12, that shows how deeply hurt the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were. And that word is execration, where it says, and they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. The definition here says it's an act of cursing or denouncing with intense hatred of a curse or a curse itself. So it also refers to, I think, that is detested and held in abomination. All strong words is like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is so disappointed. So, and that he is so, I can't even fathom the way he must have felt that he would use deep, strong language to say, I am going to destroy you. That is almost as if you were never existing. that you never
Right.
existed, the way how deep his detest was of the things that our forefathers were doing.
And that's dangerous. And
It is. It is.
let me go over that part again, verse 15. It says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods. So the men knew. So remember, they knew. Okay. And all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Patros, answered Jeremiah, saying, hit it, Junior. Continue, man.
As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee.
Wait. So, so they knew, and Jeremiah came and delivered the message, but they said, Jamaicans would kiss their teeth and say, you know what? Me, what I said, but why? I don't want to do what you said. So you could just see these people, brushing them off, saying, me hear what you said, but you know what? Me have business to deal with, and me understand what you said, but me go do what me do, and me go do me. Pretty much. Continue, please.
But we will certainly do whatever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour drinks offerings unto her, as we have done. We and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and we will and well and sorry, and and saw no evil.
What?
That's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
wait a minute. So now this
Because they had it good.
Become delusional.
Oh wow.
So wait. So understand what they're saying here. Okay, Jeremiah, yes, we understand exactly what you're saying, what the message is, but we're not going to follow what you. And they said it that we're not going to follow what you said, even though we know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob sent you. We know that, but we're going to do what we want to do. And because why? We had plenty of victuals. We're living life and we're living good.
Physical.
So why you're going to continue to burn incense to the Queen Heaven and bake breads and cake to her and all these things because things are good, man. Why upset the apple cart? We're good. So
it's like that scripture when you read this when it said, "Give up your riches and follow me." It's like, no, why would I do that? I've got it good. Why would I do that?
The audacity of these guys that listen. Remember what I said. These are people that heard the message, right? Understood the message, but choose to ignore what they need to do.
Well, Elder Elvis, it's like our Elder Shadrach taught us about the Sabbath, and people got displayed and said, well, we know you're the man of God, that we know you're the messenger, but
same thing.
We're disappointed with you because you told us that, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that.
And they left by like, geez, why would you leave?
Angry yourself, yeah.
They left willingly, and then they even said.
What I don't get is, okay, I can understand if you don't understand the message and you're ignorant and you're left and blah, blah, blah. But when you hear, understand, and still go against it and leave, especially in today's time when everybody's looking to find something to hold on to for hope. And here you have our Elder Shadrach delivering the message, yet you hear and says, yeah, but then 2 Tuesdays you turn around and leave. Why? Oh my goodness.
That's $1 million question. Why?
Angry that he told him. It's like, how he's giving you gems. It's like, and there's the thing about it. We say that how comes there's not many people listen to this, but everything gets filtered down so much as people got angry and they left, but yet still now they're still celebrating that Sabbath. Well, Elder told them way back then.
I don't get that part either. I don't get that part either.
It doesn't make sense. They don't want to listen to what Elder Shadrach say. They want to, oh, British, you telling us we don't want to listen to you, but we want to do it ourselves, but we just don't want to listen to you.
Isn't that just what we're just reading right now? Isn't the same thing?
Same thing.
Like
Same thing.
the messenger is sent unto us, Elder Shadrach, in modern day now. In those days, they had Jeremiah and other prophets that kept going. Thus saith the Lord, God of hosts. And here he's saying, listen, I have a message from the God of our forefathers saying, hey, you need to stop what you're doing. It's an abomination unto him. He's angry. If you don't stop, he's going to destroy you guys and all that you have and your children, your wives, and blah, blah, and everything. And they turn around and says, yeah, Jeremiah, me hear what y'all said, but me I live life good. And I can't give this up, man. You need to go back and do your thing. Like, shoo, go away. That's like what they're saying right now. We're going to still do what we say that's coming out of our mouth. We're going to still go and do because we're getting good stuff. Wow. Jeez,
hard is.
And here's what Felicia had to say again. She says, the father of lies rewards those who follow him. And when you walk in the flesh, you can't comprehend spiritual things.
Absolutely.
Fires in the chat for that.
That's it. True. Well said.
So true. What else can we add to this Jeremiah 44, guys? What else?
They said that they saw no evil. Like they didn't see anything wrong with what they did. Even though they know what it is.
So the physical things.
Exactly.
They don't understand the spiritual side because they see no evil. They're like, well, we're not doing bad. We're just doing these things and we're benefiting from it. So why is it God upset and angry? It's like they just don't get it. It's not for them.
Back up with that message. We didn't read that from Tina Jackson, LW.
It says, we are a people who refuses to be stiff-necked, but a people who hears and obeys. She's talking about us today, that we are refusing to be stiff-necked and we are choosing to obey.
And we definitely, because we already know what the whole deal is. It says choose life or choose death. You have a choice. So I'm choosing life. So we didn't read that. Sorry. Physical emotions get in the way of making a wise decision. Absolutely. When the emotions take over, you have no knowledge of what need to make proper decision. You just caught up in that rage or that moment of emotional, and you lose all sense of logic.
So true.
You're going to say so.
Back with that, I was saying, Elder Elvis, is that what you said before about like our generations is like you reap what you sow. This is what you're sowing, and you continue to do it. And you're sowing, and you think it's okay to do that. You're going to reap that reward, whatever that is. Well, if you see that as a reward, well,
Jeez. Oh my goodness.
If you see the evil as good, that's what you'll get. Or it's like eating something unhealthy, like too much over time. Like at the beginning, it tastes good, feels nice, feels filling, but then later on, it's gonna kick you in the rear really badly later.
Absolutely true. So we've heard from Moses,
Jeremiah,
prophets, and again throughout the whole. So let's go here from the ultimate messenger. Let's turn to Matthew, guys. Let's jump to Matthew. Matthew 5. Matthew 5.
Oh, Matthew 5.
Yeah. And where
are we starting from?
From verse 1. And we'll tell you what we're going to highlight. So everybody there?
Yep.
We posted it. Awesome. And who wants to jump in and read that for me?
I'll go again.
Go ahead,
and seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying.
All right. So again, there was a multitude, and he separated himself from them and tried to, like, it's just too much people. I can't. A multitude also could be other people, not just Israelites. We're talking who?
Yeah, he
Well,
went up into a mountain. Who is the he?
he is, if we logically just physically think, it says Jesus, but it's
Okay.
Jesus the Christ, beyond the physical now. So again, he separated himself. Disciples came with him, and he sat. When he says "set," according to our elder, it means he sat down, and he's about to impart wisdom and knowledge to them. Continue, please.
Verse 3 says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Mm.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Keep going.
Yeah,
Ye
please.
are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
All right, hold it right there. So you're being blessed for doing all these things, doing the right things, and people will persecute you. But then you continue in that same vein, and it says, he's telling you the message that he's saying, you, Israel, are the salt of the earth. And you know, when you guys cook something, when salt is missing, no matter how good it looks, well, we've cooked.
Mhm.
And you know when that the right amount of salt is there, that even the simplest of all dishes could make you curl your toes and want more and more and more because it tastes so good. The
Good.
salt is
Yes.
so like the right amount. So without that salt, it's like, man, you've eaten bland food and you go, you just, it's like, no, you can have a juicy steak, looks good, but once you taste it, that spice and that salt ain't there, it's a complete turn off because it's like, geez, this, like you lost your appetite already, man.
Yeah. You're just eating it for the filling in your belly. Also, thank you, Willie, for the donation. Thank you. But also got and Felicia too for the donation as well. But I also got something from the scriptures as well. Like the God of Israel, sorry, no, not the God of Israel. Jesus the Christ is saying that even if you're going through all the bash and batter and the pain and the hit and the suffering from the world, as long as you stay with the God of Israel and do his commandments and spread that light too, which is going to be said in the next scripture, then you will be with him. Like you will be the salt of the earth. You get to be privileged to be the salt of the earth. And what you said, Dad, about the salt, right? I remember when I was cooking some, trying to make your scrambled eggs, and the first 10 or so something attempts, they did not have enough salt. But then once I started adding some more, it tasted better as well.
But there is something here that that came to me as we were reading this verse, and how much our Father wants us to have that main ingredient, the salt, because without the salt, there is no savor. You can put every other seasoning, but if you don't have that salt in it, it loses its flavor. And I
Absolutely.
look at a body of water that we call the Caribbean Sea, how vast it is. And when you dive into that, it has so much a salty taste. And I think about us as a people having that salt and looking at how beneficial the water is with the salt in it, because so many people go in that water with so many ailments, but
Right.
none of us none of us get sick by it, but they do. Some of them receive healing from it, right? So who are we? We are the salt of the earth. Who are the teachers? We are. Who brings forth this message? We should bring it to the world. We are the ones to be teaching because we've got the salt, and the next verse talks about the light. So we got the salt and we got the light.
That's right. I'm going to have you continue, but let me read what Mike Calhoun is saying. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't choose us just because we were the fewest, but also because we are the smartest. Look around. We must stop living physically and live up to our spirituality. Absolutely. Got to serve him in spirit and in truth. You have to do that. You can't do physical. We're not done with that. With that.
I want to add to Auntie Sean's point about the Caribbean Sea as well. Like, it's not just us humans who also gain benefits from the salt in the water. It's also the plants in there too, the animals as well. Like, because if you take that out of their environment, then they're going to suffer. They're going to be in a much harder time. They're going to have to move elsewhere where it suits their needs. But it's not even just the animals and the plants too, but sometimes the environment as well. Like, sometimes you need a little bit of, like, I don't know, you need a little bit of, let's kind of look at this like a scientific way or a weather-ish kind of way. Like, the land needs some water, right? Without the cloud there, it's not going to be there for it. Like, there's other resources around that also help out other resources that are there too. If you take that out, what do you have now? What would you have as well? You want to have much of what you had before, and because you need it.
So true. Let's continue, Sean. I know we got up until 14 to 17, and we're done with that.
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right. Okay, hold it. So not only are you the salt,
but the light.
Also the light. Jeez, what? Two things that you know you need. Without the light, you're stumbling around like a blind man in the dark. And you know what happens when you can't see your way? When you can't, imagine back home, in my time, we didn't have, and I'm going to probably, as they say, age myself, so what, big deal. Anyways, when we don't have street lights, it's pitch black. And the only thing is the moonlight, if the moon is out, or the starlight. And when it's so pitch black, you can't even see just a few meters up ahead. And of course, they love to tell duppy stories and frighten us people when we're there. Sean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. But you see the analogy in that again, right? The salt in the sea, we are the people, the salt of the earth. Similarly, again, with the light, and you talk about the moonlight, the starlight, the analogy there is that no matter where we are the light. We are supposed to give. That's why we are Israelite. We give light to this dark world. We're supposed to bring the message to the world, teach this message unto all nations, and bring them to worship the God of our forefathers. So yes, I like that you talk about the moon and the stars, because they still give light in darkness, and so should we give light no matter where we are.
Absolutely. That's right.
So what is it to give the light? What is it to give the light?
What is it to give the light? Good question. Jesse just answered.
There you go. So simple. It's so simple. It's when we deal with spirituality, it is never complicated or built with complex. It's just so simple that it sometimes goes over a lot of people's heads because it's so simple. Isn't that?
And that's true. Yes, this message is it appears to be simple, and we know it is simple, but to them they just can't get it. And they are not getting it because they don't see themselves as the salt. They don't see themselves as the light. So when you begin to go in that direction, then you're getting in touch with your spirituality. Then you have to begin to worship in spirit and in truth. Then you begin to prosper, you begin to receive because you're going to ask, because your eyes are going to be open, your ears are going to be, and then you're going to begin to hear.
All
And when you
right.
begin to hear, you begin to do, and the do is the application. And I am still learning about the application side of this spirituality, right? So once
Right.
that begins to happen, then they will begin to understand and know and do.
But could
And
so
that's what we said,
too much
Jesse is
salt?
the science guy, the Israelite science guy, and Felicia said
Yeah, I
you need
saw
to do, and
Yeah.
Felicia says
Yeah.
that you need to do some serious. He should. Smart
Jason needs to
science.
do a series
guy.
on God's creation from the firmament to the ocean. He's so knowledgeable.
Really, all
Absolutely.
the
That's
Could
science.
too much salt be toxic?
Can salt be toxic?
Rick
Could
Fake,
too much salt be toxic? Because we were saying with the salt of the earth, but then my point is that if the salt's used in the wrong way, it can be toxic.
That's it.
But then if the salt is used in the wrong way and it becomes toxic, it means that you have now moved yourself from that cord that ties you to the God of our forefathers, because you should never become toxic when you are the salt of the earth.
Or we're
Because
letting you be used in yourself, if you let yourself to be used.
Because if you look at what we were reading in Jeremiah, these were God's children. They used to worship him. They used to be the salt, and they became toxic. Why did they become toxic? Because the first
Used in the
commandment,
wrong way.
they disobeyed the very first commandment.
First commandment.
So that is
I left
when
it.
your salt becomes toxic. That's how I see what you're saying there, Junior.
Yeah.
Finish it off the last two that I want to, which is 17
And 18.
Yeah, please.
17 says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled."
Absolutely. See? Got to keep those commandments. And then why are they saying that there's no more law?
Misunderstanding.
Because the last time I know I'm still here on earth, and as far as I'm concerned, today I looked out and there were still clouds in the heaven, and the moon and sun. I mean, even though we didn't see any sunlight, but the light from it cascaded through the clouds and gave us light. So the sun is still there, and we saw the moon today, so it's still there. So the law still holds.
That's it.
Otherwise,
I cannot see how they it's very plain. He says, "I didn't come to destroy the law. I came to fulfill it, to ensure that we still keep practicing it."
So how come they didn't hear that message?
I don't know.
Jeez, are they deaf?
I feel like if
the message is they didn't get the right memo.
Right, that memo. Listen, that memo's going around, but some people just can't seem to get the memo right.
But the persons also who are writing the memo are flawed, because they don't know what they are writing. So they're putting out a memo which has incorrect information because of the lack of understanding. So with the lack of understanding, not having the spirit of truth and understanding, then therefore they're going to write memos after memos and put it out there, and people will read these things and take it and not come and search for themselves. But if they go and begin to read for themselves and ask the God of Abraham, and at least first of all, they don't know his name, so they don't know who they're asking anything of anyways.
Right. Jeez,
and Lindsay, thank you so much for your donation.
Right. Listen, we're not done with Matthew, so let's jump over to number 7, chapter 7.
Hold on. I have something to say. So
Add to it.
So the comment earlier about Felicia about me starting a series, like I want to say this too, like every little thing that you see, like biology, chemistry, science, physics, math, like everything that you look at, everything that you see, whether you know it or don't know it, is by the God of Israel, because he purposefully made it that way. Like all the tiny little atoms that you see, all the DNA that you see, all whatever the cells on what they do, all that was by the God of Israel, because he thought of it. And Elder Michael sometimes says to me, whenever we talk about it or whenever it's brought up, how did you think of this? Like, how did you think of making this? How did you think of building it like this and giving it this kind of purpose? Like, how? Because it all relates back to the God of Israel. So that's what I wanted to say about that comment too, because I didn't look at it and thought about that. Because sometimes I remind myself of that randomly in the day. Because sometimes I just look at like, oh yeah, the God of Israel created this and made every little minute detail about it.
And Corinne had put up a message there that the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, that we are the light. Thank you, Corinne.
We're so the light. Absolutely. Follow me, you guys. Jump over to Matthew 7, please. And we'll pick it up from 21. And I'll tackle that one. It says, 21 says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful things? And you're going to say, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're not done. We're not done. Let me continue. 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these saying of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descendeth, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these saying of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So, do you hear the message?
It's kind of like a parable of the sower, right? Hearing the message and what you do with the message, and
Yes, yes,
the message, follow instructions. Because you mentioned about you're not a rocket scientist earlier on, but if you had the instructions and all the knowledge and instructions and put it there in front of you, how to do it, could you then say that you can't do it or you don't want to?
So yes, are you hearing the message? It says, doeth the work, the will of my Father. Come on. And what is that? What is the will? What is the works? To keep the commandments. It's that simple. And you live it every day. Like, okay, don't serve another God. You know his name, God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He says, don't serve another God. All right, we're good to go. Keep my commandments, my Sabbath, my new moons. You know when they are. Keep them holy. Separate yourself. Be clean. If you do a certain thing and you become unclean, here's what you need to do to get back on track. We don't follow the Easters and the Halloweens and these things. Those are not part of you. So don't keep those. No Thanksgiving, no St. Valentine, no Remembrance Day, no Day of the Dead. That's not part of you. So don't keep those. Worship him in spirit and in truth. It's everyday living things that you do without even thinking it, because it's so simple. It is very simple. It's not hard.
It is simple. It is very simple, and you say it's not hard, but it is hard for some because they don't know. And even when they know, just as we read earlier, they make a choice to walk away. I can only imagine, Elder Shadrach talks about his 40 years a lot. I can only imagine how he must feel at times when you look at how hard he tried and how he thought that we as a nation of people would have grabbed this message because we are his and he's our father. How he thought that we would have gravitated so easily because we're coming from we are the nation of people that we are coming from serving the God. Yes, we went over into bondage and things were taken away from us, but because it's embedded in our DNA and we are connected and tied to the God of Israel, the expectation, I would imagine, that Elder Shadrach must have been feeling like, okay, I'm going to give them this message. They're going to get it because they know that they're God's people. I'll show them the way. But yet, for 40 years, and look at what has happened.
But that's very true.
People go.
But that's very true. But sometimes you have to look at it like this as well. It was, again, they're saying that the message goes out, and then how many years after you pick it up? Because you look at Sean, the message been out for 40 years now, and you just learned about it, right?
I just learned about it.
Exactly, but it's been out there. So it's not everybody's going to get it just the way they get it, but yet still you've just got it, you've held on to it, and you know so much, it's so knowledgeable in it already in it right now. You see what I'm saying? So much as it goes that, as much as we would like everybody to hear it, it doesn't work. Like, it gets filtered down, and hopefully one day they will hear it. Not even their generation right now, next generation might hear it. And said, "Oh yeah, years ago, the man named Elder Shadrach spoke about the children of Israel and brought us back to serving our gods." And now they're hearing about it. Sadly, there's people. It's like, we would like to hear the truth, because it's like the God of Israel like this. It's like, He's giving you, everybody done a test in school or university, he's giving you, God of Israel's giving you the cheat papers. Not even the cheat papers, giving a part, how to pass that test, the life test. And he's giving you an 8th grade paper and says, look, I'm going to just give it to you. Just study it and I'll give it to you. Look, I'm giving it to you. This is for you because you're my child. I'm giving it to you. But then you're looking over there and saying, okay, but the unclassified looks more better. It looks colorful, more better. But God just said, look, this is the best. Look, I'm going to pass the exam. I'm taking the exam. I'm taking it. So I'm giving it to you. Have the Bible, just read it and study it and pass it. That's all you have to do.
Let's find out. Go ahead. Finish it.
And that's what I'm saying. This is what happens with life. We get the 8th grade test paper, how to pass it, which is the Bible, the message. But yet still we're looking at something else in a B grade or whatever it might be. It looks more colorful.
That's right.
Let's find out why they don't. Go ahead, Jesse.
I want to add on what Auntie Sean said about like why it's sometimes hard for people to understand. Probably because of how simple it is, and because it's simply the truth. It is not fact, right? Because truth is higher than fact. Because that's exactly
right. You got that right, Jesse.
Right?
You know, that's funny you said that, Jesse, because we're gonna bring that in. Go to John 8. Go to John 8. John 8, because that's exactly what we're going to say. Why they don't get it. Why they don't hear the message. John 8, 42 to 45. Who wants to read that? Please. Go ahead, Justin, since you brought that up.
Jesus
John
said...
8, 42, verse 45.
Yeah, verse 42. Jesus said, not just Jesus, but Jesus the Christ said unto them, if God were your Father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not.
Boom, boom. So if you are of the truth, you will hear the message, you will understand. But because you're not of the truth, you'll never get it. Jeez.
It's like for those people, let's see, for those people who ask questions, why this, why that, how that, when this, and all that. Like kind of like is it philosopher? Is it the right word? Philosopher or something?
They question things, ask.
Yeah. Like
they're trying to
it's just simply truth. That's it. That's all I really got to say. Like, it's truth. God said that, the God of Israel, I have to specify. The God of Israel said let there be light. There was light. He made it happen. Like there is no why this, why that, how did he create it? He created it simply. And you'll end up making yourself go crazy thinking about it too much, or end up straying off if you're trying to get here to begin with. Like you just have to accept it as truth because that is truth. Again, it's over facts. Like fact is down here, truth is up here. And so is the God of Israel up there as well.
But is facts not truth?
Only if it's backed up by truth. Only
And,
if
our truth facts?
That's the God of Israel. Truth.
you know, it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the God. So he's talking about him saying it is the God of truth and righteousness, and his word is truth.
That's right.
Very simple. His word is truth. Living truth. Like there's no other way I can explain it to you. His word alone.
I know truth is just truth. It can't be anything else but truth.
As he says it, it will do. He says his words will never come back to him void. Speak it. So when he says, I will destroy you, it may not be at that moment, but rest for sure
it will happen.
It will happen. So rest assured that when he says it, it will come to pass. At some point in time, maybe he will have mercy upon you in that generation at that time, but down the line, somebody's going to feel it. So yes, isn't this interesting? So are you hearing the message? And that point right there, they can't hear the message anyway, because it says they don't understand my speech. Because why? They're not of the truth. They're not of the truth. Listen, how much time do we got? Oh, wow. Jeez. We don't have a lot of time here. I had some more stuff.
But, you know, in all that we are doing tonight, and a few things have stood out. And one of them is that how easy it is to move away from the truth. How easy it is to, as we read about, you know, serving and drinking wine to the Queen of Heaven and all these things, how easy it is to do that. And yet it comes with so many destructive consequences when you do all these things, all these curses and stuff like that. And maybe I shouldn't say how easy it is to do that, because I'm not going to say, we got one simple thing to do, and that is to follow the instructions of the God of Israel, our culture, and the blessings will fall down. One thing, just follow. But yet we go over here and where all the curses are and there's so many things. You got to burn incense, give this to that, do that with all these curses. And yet over here is one and over there is many, but we choose the many as opposed to the one.
Yeah, that is so baffling that you can't get it. That all he says is, hey, listen, serve me. Do no other thing, you know. Don't go to no Obiaman, no witch doctor, no psychic to say, hey, what's my thing, you know. Don't do those things. Don't go seek divination. Don't go serving the dead. Keep my law, statutes, and command, which is your culture anyways, so it's not hard to do if you live it. It's like that. And don't make me jealous. And we're good. Pretty much. We could sum all of that up. If we jump, let me see. I was thinking of Amos 3, but that's like when it says, only you have I known, and only you're going to get the punishment. But I wanted to do something. I was going to sum all of that up. We can go to Matthew 20. Back to Matthew, guys. We can go to Matthew 20.
I was going to say, Elder, before you go on to that, just something with scripture just come up. You don't have to read it, but it said Luke 16, 19 to 31. It just explains about with the rich man and Lazarus. Where you get the message. He said, well, the rich man saying, oh, could you go back and warn his brothers? But then after we got the message of the keeper, the message of the covenant elder coming to give the message to us, but he said, well, you got the prophets there as well, everything coming to you. What are you going to do? We're going to wait for Jesus to come back from death. You know what I mean? It's like you got everything there, but would you still listen?
That's right. We do have our modern day representation of Moses, our elder,
Yeah,
who has
that's it.
brought the message unto us. So why, what does it say? Is my speech too hard for you to understand? Can't you hear it? Serve your God. Stop doing things like Christianity. Come out of her. There was a video that our elder did about coming out of Christianity, because all it is death. Like, come out of that mess. Stop serving another God. Stop doing paganism. Stop keeping the Day of the Dead. All their holidays are surrounding the dead. The God of our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is the God of the living, not the God of the dead. So, why would you want to be in dead anyways? It's not comfortable. Jeez, what did I say? Matthew 22. We don't have a lot of time, guys. Matthew 22. Matthew 22. It's very quick. Just a few verses here. 22 from 36. Let me find it. All right. So,
What verse again?
22 from
Oh,
verse 36. Yeah. Thank you, Elder B. It says, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? That's a cool question. That's a very good question. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. One of these two commandments, or on these two commandments, hang all the law and the prophets. Jeez. Very simple. It wrapped up everything. Because you serving another God is breaking that first and great commandment. Keep that. By the way, when you keep the first commandment, there's a whole bunch of stuff that follows it that you got to do. It says, if you love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, breath, and being in your mind, that means you're keeping the Sabbath, the new moon, the holy days. You love him as you love yourself. You love your neighbor as you, and your neighbor is your brethren, by the way. We're not talking my neighbor physically when I go knock. Those are not my neighbors because they don't serve the same God as me. So your neighbor is those that serve your brethren, that serve the same God as you. Our God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Everybody says, oh, I'm going over to my neighbor. Like, geez, your neighbor is celebrating Christmas. How can you be that neighbor? Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. Okay, I didn't read the last piece. But yeah, your neighbor is not somebody. Look, the person that's living next door has got all these Halloween stuff in their front yard right now. Jeez. How could that be my neighbor?
Not your neighbor.
That skeleton, tombstone, all these things. LB says we got 3 minutes. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time, guys. There's more stuff that we want to talk about, but again, our time is limited. We'll let you guys jump in and throw something out before we end it. 3 minutes, I guess a minute each. If you want to say something, finish off what you got out of this, the message that we're trying to give to people out there, be it now, next week, next month, a few years from now, or a decade from now. Go ahead. Who's jumping in first? Jesse.
Okay, Jesse, the youngest. Okay.
Let the young guy go first.
Let's see. When we were reading John 8, I thought of John 1 when, let's see, let me paraphrase a little, not going to say 100%, when he said, the Word was God and the Word was with God too. So again, everything that the God of Israel says, that is truth, and that is what's going to happen as well. That's what I say for closing thoughts too. Anyone else?
For me, I want to take away the blessings versus the curse. I want the blessings. So it's important so it's important for me and for us as brethren that we follow these laws, statutes, commands, live in our culture, and just be excited about our culture, be excited to serve this one true and living God. And no matter what, hold on to that as opposed to listening to the other noise. listen to this message so that you can hear, and so your eyes can be open, your ears are there to hear, and to just stay in this lane, stay in this message, worship this God, the one God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. That's the only God that we have. We know there are many other gods. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the one God that we have, the God of Israel.
That's right. Junior?
Okay, my message is, did you hear the message or your hard ears? Because that's what my mum always used to say, because much as you hear, then how do you execute what you've heard? Then how do you do that from now? How do you do that, execute what you've heard? Because it comes with instructions. Oh, you've told to do something. You told this and that and whatnot. Then now what do you do now? Do you listen to it and execute what you listen? Part of that belief is actions. So start following it through. Because you look at it, our elder Shadrach, 40 years ago started this journey. 40 years instead talking about it, and here today, then how many people can even say that they've been 40 years and on that journey? How many people can say that? What brought you the Sabbath day and how to serve God, the true and the God of God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Who's taught you about this? So this is where this is much coming from. Like truth over fact.
That's right. That's right. So I'll finish off by saying, to what we haven't given you tonight, my superstar cast here, Jesse, Sean, and Junior, it wouldn't be possible, especially myself, without our master teacher, our elder Shadrach, and the council member that the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob has put around him on his left and on his right. Excellent men and women that teach us so that we may teach you on how to serve this and true and living God that has given us an amazing chance to get into the kingdom of heaven. Trust me, when you get this message and you understand it, you're beaming. Again, the light. Yeah. So yeah, and with that, what are we gonna say?
Peace.
Peace. Peace.